We are live inside the Hive, Game 1 of doubleheader preseason action here in the SFL, brought to you by APM Music. We should have a great one here for you today. We've got the hometown Atlanta Swarm welcoming in the Baltimore Vultures. My name is Eric Vincent, alongside co-commentator, Levant Irvine. Levant, are you with us? Should be a great matchup. Already liking the uniform selection here. Atlanta always coming out with great threads. Baltimore coming out with, looks like some great uniforms for the away set today. We're going to go down to the coin toss. We're going to go over the starting lineups here and see who can come out on top. And it looks like the Swarm have won the coin toss, but they will kick to start things off, so they will receive in the second half. Baltimore's going to get the ball first. And here we go. Baltimore brings it up the field out to about the 29-yard line. Levant, are you still with us? Okay. Is everybody hearing Levant okay? Because I'm having a hard time apparently getting Levant in there. First and 10 as we get the ball handed off to start things off. Troy Daniels out to the 32-yard line for a gain of 3. Sorry guys, just technical difficulties here. I'm not 100% sure why you're not hearing Levant, so I want to make sure that we get him in here. I do have him, he's just not being broadcast for whatever reason.
I didn't do anything.
Okay, guys, can we hear Levant now? Levant, go ahead and say something.
Well, it's time to take a look at the Baltimore defense. A lot of great key figures out here. We have Joe Dazzo. Alright, hold on.
There we go. Yep, I got you now. Alright, perfect. Sorry about the technical difficulties, guys. Wanted to make sure that we got Levant in here for this preseason battle here. Levant, go ahead and continue with your analysis there as we get a big first down completion for Marcus Dunhill.
Alright. So Baltimore's going to be challenging the catch made in bounds, but going on to their defense, they have some great figures in Joe Dazzo, who's number 9 all-time defense. We have Jeffrey Desert, who has been a key figure for Tulsa last season, now joining them. We have Amon Takes, who has been a very outspoken linebacker, also paired with Dazo.
And it looks like Baltimore's going to lose that challenge. I thought he honestly got his foot in bounds for that catch, and it looks like the referees agreed. So Baltimore's going to lose a timeout to start things off there. So they're already down to 2. Barely even a minute and a half gone in the first quarter of play. As I mentioned, rookie Marcus Dunhill under center for the Atlanta Swarm. He's going to have 2 backs in the backfield, 3 wideouts. He's going to throw it over the middle, and that's L.B. Allen III with the catch. And that's going to be a gain of 7. He's got 2 catches already there for 27 yards. So 2nd and 3 coming up now. A little pitch play over to BGG Hollywood, who doesn't make it up to the line of scrimmage. He's going to lose a yard as Abraham gets in on the tackle there.
Just a little breakdown. Most teams don't like running the pitch play. The generic playbook generally does do this. And we see, even though Hollywood is a very agile back, it didn't work out there.
He's not that particular time. Offset I formation this time. 3 wide receivers. 3rd and 4 upcoming for Dunhill. He's going to throw to his right. Plenty of coverage, though. That's going to fall incomplete. And he was looking for Siege Falco, another rookie on this Atlanta Swarm squad.
Like calling that sort of connection. Let's see. What do they call this here? They call this... Oh, wow. Siege and destroy, but it did not work out there this time.
This time they're going to punt it away just past the 50-yard marker. Punt is going to bounce inside the 5, but they cannot down it before it reaches the end zone. It's going to be marked as a touchback. And we're going to see Baltimore come out for their 2nd possession. Unfortunately, we missed the first one. There's a quick 3-and-outer, I believe. While we were having those technical difficulties, so sorry about that, guys. But we'll go ahead and get everybody lined up here, and we'll make sure everybody gets called out, and we'll get some good football coming in. Mike Dazo is under center, and he's going to drop back, throw it out to his running back, rookie Troy Gaines. He's going to bring it out to the 26-yard line, gain of 6 there.
It's a nice short pass. The pocket was collapsing upon him. He saw his check down, and he made a great play there.
Good start there. 2nd and 6. Excuse me, 2nd and 4. 6-yard gain. Another handoff to Gaines right up the middle of the field. Big gaping hole. He's going to make it out to the 36-yard line. And that was a nifty little run play right there, Levant.
Living up to his namesake, getting those hard-earned yards down the middle. Watch this.
Josh Vasquez in there on the tackle. So a 1st and 10 upcoming for the Vultures. As they also have Gary Malone, Shea Carroll, and Daley Holder at wide receiver for this squad. Looks like it's bottled up there in the backfield, but Gaines able to find some room over on the right-hand side. He'll make it out for a 6-yard gain there.
Quite wonderful vision to keep the play going. He seemed like he was going to get stuck behind one of his guards, made a slight adjustment, and broke out for 6.
Jose Fuentes, Andrew Hawkins down at defensive line. Pat Ketza going to be your other corner. We mentioned Vasquez earlier. Aquanda Shine, one of the leading tacklers from SFL last season. He's going to be at linebacker. As looks like Gaines gets wrapped up in the backfield for a couple-yard loss. It'll be 3rd and 5 coming up here.
Speaking about Shine, Shine has played Baltimore in the previous iteration before many times, so he knows what to expect.
And fellas, this is a preseason game, which means you're not going to see any sort of game planning or anything like that. Very generic playbooks. Don't want to tip the cap or anything as to what these two teams are doing just yet. We'll save that for week 1. as Dazzo throws it out to Gaines, who has first down and more, out to the 46-yard line where he's gang tackled out of bounds.
Even still, Baltimore out here spreading the defense and then passing it short. Muda Agilani with the stop, because if not, he was going to break through even more.
Agilani and Aaron Lee are your safeties for the Swarm. As Baltimore comes back up to the line, looks like two backs in the backfield. Heavy set. Dazzo's going to change something up at the line of scrimmage here. Delayed handoff right up the middle. Looks like Gaines is going to get to about the 43 before he's bottled up. Gain of 3.
They keep using this. They keep using the running game, but give Atlanta different looks so that they would expect the pass still and keep running it. I like it.
Definitely showing good balance on this second possession here. Another handoff to Gaines, who's met right there in the middle of the backfield. Was that Shine that came through there? Or no, it was one of the backups there. It looks like it was Brown that met him right there, untouched.
Well, they're starting to go a little too much with the run, so they're starting to read it better as this drive goes on.
So a 3rd and long upcoming now from the 45. I formation. Dazzo to throw, out route, found his feet in bounds, I believe, but they are going to mark it a completion. It's just going to be short. That's Daley Holder with his first catch, and it's going to be 4th down.
It was just wonderful coverage there by Atlanta. That was the only open man.
Atlanta with a great defense. They had a great defense last season. Going to have a great defense this year as well, I believe. Especially bringing back names like Andrew Hawkins, Shine, Ajlauni, who was there in previous iterations before. He's now back and assuming a GM role as they almost get to the punt there. Baltimore trying to pin Atlanta back, and it doesn't look like that's going to happen as it bounces harmlessly into the end zone for a touchback.
And to touch upon that point, a lot of teams are starting to use more administrative roles for their players, trying to get them involved in the inner workings of their teams.
Definitely a great way to get everybody involved. Scouts, GMs, obviously play-by-play commentators and whatnot. That's more on the league level than a team level. As Dunhill swings it out to the left there. Nice little spin move. I think that was his fullback. Makes it out to the 25-yard line for a 5-yard gain. Peyton Chisholm was the receiver on the end. We got to look at him there. 2nd and 5 upcoming. I formation. Handoff to BDG Hollywood, who has some room on the right-hand side. Gets about a 4-yard gain. Looks like he was going to get a ton more, but that Baltimore defense able to kind of swarm around the Swarm.
I did see that they adjusted pre-snap, so they must have saw something else. And they adjusted to the ball quickly and prevented the first down.
Hendricks Thornberry, Jeffrey DeSur are your corners. Joe Dazzo and Amon Takes are there at linebacker. Giovanni Bolt and Tony Willis are your safeties as BDG Hollywood bursts through the line. He's going to get a first down out to the 34-yard line. The Hive is buzzing.
Doing what he does best. Finding small gaps across the line and sneaking through for a first down.
Let's get a look at the rookie Dunhill. Drafted by the Swarm in the SFL rookie draft a little bit earlier on this offseason. He'll be with an offset I formation under center. Handoff to Hollywood once again. Hollywood getting about 3 or 4 yards up the middle. Good holes being developed here by this offensive line, Levant.
Yes, and it looks like Atlanta is absolutely unfazed by this, and they want to continue introducing Hollywood like they will all season. He's been a mainstay for them, so he expects the future.
He has indeed been a mainstay. Over 4,000 yards and 37 touchdowns in 3 seasons with the Swarm, as he gets a little touch pass over there towards the left-hand side. That'll be about 4 yards again, so it'll be third and manageable upcoming.
They always want to get into these third down situations where you have a wide array of options, third and medium, third and short being the best.
Certainly more plays in the playbook for third and short than there is for third and long. With 3rd and 2, Dunhill with a short drop. He's going to throw it out wide open over on the right-hand side is L.B. Allen III. And he gets another catch out to the 48-yard line. First down.
Another mainstay in this offense. He's been with Atlanta for quite some time now. Expects to feature just as much. As well as Chisholm up top.
Believe it or not, L.B. Allen's only been there 1 season. He had 492 yards and 3 touchdowns. Definitely expect him to get a bigger dose of the plays as they get a wide open pass over to Boo Chisholm, who beats his man off the line of scrimmage. Big gain of 24, I believe, out to the 25-yard line.
Just look at this again. Chisholm doing exactly what he's in this team to do, with that speed to burn. Dunhill with a wonderful lead pass, by the way.
Certainly not looking like a rookie so far as he comes up to the line with 4 wideouts and no backs in the backfield, under center. Just about to the red zone here. Dunhill going to throw deep again into coverage. It's incomplete, looking for Falco.
Willis was there on the stop, and by the way, coming from Dallas, who actually had a top 10 defense last season, he was a key figure for them with the pass deflection there, showing why Baltimore puts trust in him.
So we've yet to see the Siege and Destroy connection just yet. Waiting for it to show up as 2nd and 10 comes up here. Hollywood with a handoff and a spin move. He threw down a bunch of different spin moves, and it worked to great effect. Actually, that was the backup running back. I apologize. And he got some good yardage on that run there. Looks like it was Freeman.
Not sure if a single yard is good yardage, but it's better than nothing.
Probably good for a backup, I'd assume. So 3rd and 9. Dunhill will throw. He's going to throw an out route. He's got Allen, but again, short of the markers, so it's going to be 4th and 6. And Atlanta's probably going to have to try a field goal here.
Second verse, same as the first. 3rd down out route, going nowhere, because that's the only man he had left.
So Jason Arena is going to line up. No, actually, they got a new kicker. It's Alex Kidd, wearing Arena's old number. So on 4th and 6, he's going to try and boot this through the uprights. Up and good from 37. So the Swarm are on the board to start things off. And a good start for Atlanta's new kicker.
Pretty bulky for a kicker, too. Looks like he's a big lad.
He's listed at 6'3", 235, which is kind of bulky for a kicker. I'd have to agree with that.
Well, it means that he'll also feature well in special teams and probably shouldn't be pushed off the ball if he's the last man standing.
100%. So we've got 9 seconds left to go in the opening quarter. Be sure to download the ScoreStream app from iPhone or Android. Both available to download for free. That is the official scoring app of the SFL. And you'd be able to see that 3-0 score listed right there between the Swarm and the Vultures. Got one more play probably left to go before this first quarter of action winds down. Want to thank everybody for showing up. Looks like we got 44 watching for this first game of a doubleheader of action today for the SFL. 3 wideouts, 2 backs in the backfield for Dazzo under center. He's going to pitch it, and he's met right in the backfield. I believe that was Andrew Hawkins getting in there, dragging him down. And what a play to end the first quarter as Atlanta hosting a 3-0 score here in the Hive. You're watching the SFL on YouTube, presented by APM Music. So flipping sides of the field here, 2nd and 15 upcoming. A huge loss on that first play, as Gaines was not able to even get a little bit of yardage from that pitch play. Another handoff to Gaines, barrels over a defender, but he's met by a couple others as he's dragged down behind the line once again. Vasquez in there on the tackle. We've got 3rd and forever, it seems, for the Vultures. Dazzo, time, pocket collapsing. What a duck of a throw that he got out there. But he was able to get it to, looks like one of his tight ends, out to the 33-yard line. It's still short of a first down. 4th and 6 is going to be coming up for the Vultures. Edward Morgan, the backup tight end, I believe, was the recipient there. 4th and 6. Punt is away from Baltimore. Fielded at about the 30-yard line. And that's where he's going to get dragged down. About the 34-yard line. That's where Atlanta's going to take over once again. So we've got Dunhill lining up under center, offset I formation. Handoff to Hollywood, sidesteps a defender, finds some room on the right-hand side, and he gets dragged down at the 43-yard line. A huge first gain all the way into Baltimore territory just on that first play.
Here you have Hollywood doing what he does best again. The agility and the quickness that he normally exhibits, breaking through.
Fantastic run on the first play from scrimmage for this possession here for Atlanta. As I mentioned, into opposing territory already. 1st and 10 from the 43. Again with the offset I formation. Dunhill going to check it down. Looks like it is a design screen for Hollywood. Gets about 8 yards out of it. Probably could have gone for more. But a good play there by the Baltimore defense to limit the bleeding.
They're making do with what they have to use, and it seems to be working with the personnel that they have.
Giovanni Bolts coming in there on the stop from his safety spot. Another pitch play to Hollywood, and Hollywood goes nowhere. Dazzo coming in there. Looks like he's already got 2 tackles to his credit. With 3rd and 4 upcoming, we'll see if the Vultures can get the swarm off the field here in Atlanta. Three wide receivers, Hollywood in the backfield. Dunhill to throw, got a man towards the left-hand side of the field, but out to the 24-yard line. Good old chunk of yards there, 14. And he's dragged down for another fresh set of downs.
Mixing up the pass and run plays. Baltimore doesn't know exactly what to look for, and he's just carving them up right now.
Ooh, Chisholm with another big catch. This is about the place where they kind of stalled out beforehand. Was able to get a field goal on the board as Hollywood gets a handoff, but he gets met in the backfield. Loss of 2 on the play. And it's a great play from that Vulture defense.
Seems like that was a counter play that just broke down. Guard didn't pull or shifted time, and Kate was able to break through.
So that ends up being a 2nd and 12. Looks like they got 5 in the box there. 3 wideouts, 2 backs in the backfield. Dunhill to throw. He's going to check it down to Hollywood. Hollywood spin cycle, and he makes it out to the 28. Actually, he loses a couple yards. Thought they might have given him forward progress, but not so much there.
No, and it starts to seem like Baltimore's now just getting a read on them.
We'll see what they want to do. Atlanta with a 3rd and 13. Dunhill's going to throw, has time, over to the left-hand side. Wide open boot Chisholm before he's knocked out of bounds. 1st and goal at the 10.
It just seems like they can't get to the quarterback, or they can't get to Chisholm in time either to stop this from happening.
Baltimore doesn't have any stars down there on that defensive line, but they do have 2-star linebackers in Joe Dazzo and rookie Amon Takes. Haven't really seen a ton of them so far, but then again, Atlanta's been throwing the ball a lot. BDG Hollywood getting nowhere. He'll lose a couple yards there. And there's Amon Takes, as we're talking about him right there, along with one of the backup linebackers, Kate.
Well, Baltimore needs to stop them here, just so that they can stop the bleeding a bit and regroup.
So 2nd and goal from the 11. Another handoff to Hollywood, who gets a couple yards this time. Still not a ton, as Dazzo wraps him up by the ankles. He goes down at the 10. Probably expect a throw here on 3rd and goal from the 10.
If they could just hold them to another 3 here, that's a victory.
4 wideouts. Dunhill in the gun. Takes the snap over to the right. He's got a wide open man. Touchdown. And that's the siege and destroy we were looking for there. Siege Falco with the touchdown.
Just pretty much left alone, uncovered there. Let's look at this again. What we have here is a corner post route, where no one was on him. I guess the zone wasn't even shaded his way and left him open enough for an easy touchdown.
That particular play, the wide receivers do a couple of crossing post routes. One goes post, one goes corner, which sometimes throws the defense off. I'd say that's probably what happened there.
Right.
Kid lining up for the extra point, up and through, so it's going to be a 10-0 ball game now, as the Swarm cap off that drive with a touchdown pass to Siege Falco, that rookie-to-rookie connection we were looking for. What does Baltimore need to do to get things back up and running here?
They haven't been doing too poorly. It's mostly just trying to contain Atlanta and trying to get the ball back and manage time from here. They haven't done much wrong on offense. They just haven't had, the holds that you expect on defense. They can still very much get back into this game. I mean, Mike Dazzo's like number 3 all-time quarterback. We can expect him to bring this team back. They have weapons on offense to bring this team back. They have Holder. They have Carroll.
Plenty of weapons, as Holder is actually the one who returns that kick out to the 29-yard line, so decent field position for the Vultures. Dazzo at the line barking out orders. Atlanta jumps, so it's going to be a free play. Dazzo's just going to have to check it down to Gaines, who breaks out of a tackle momentarily, maybe for about a yard or two. So they'll take that penalty and advance for a 1st and 5.
And that's a sign of being a veteran quarterback in this league. He knows exactly how to catch the defense off. He knows exactly how to take advantage of when the defense is off. And there's the rookie Fuentes.
Fuentes was the guilty party, jumping off sides. Just want to get out all the jitters in the preseason, I'm sure. So 1st and 5, delayed handoff to Gaines. There is a flag on the field. We'll see what that could be as he gets dragged down in the backfield. It's like a holding on the offense. So they get those 5 yards going forward, and then they move 10 back.
Well, that surely happens sometimes in the game of football. I mean, sometimes it does go tit for tat. You make a mistake, we make a mistake. It shouldn't happen that way, but sometimes it does.
Like I was saying, want to get all the mistakes out here in the preseason, get it all out for week 1. Gaines getting another handoff. This time he goes nowhere as Aquana Shine comes in there and drags him down at the line of scrimmage. So 2nd and 15, 3 wideouts, 2 backs in the backfield. Dazzo changing things up. Atlanta coming out with 4 down linemen. Steps up for Dazzo. A ricochet up in the air. Tip drill and it's caught. What a catch there. One of the backup wide receivers. No, there wasn't one of the backups. That's Shea Carroll getting in there and getting his first grab. That's a Baltimore Vulture.
Well, look at this. He was bumped all across the line here. And once the play developed and everyone was focused on the play, he was just left alone.
Right place, right time, and that still counts just the same as any other catch. What a bizarre play as Dazzo's going to get wrecked down at the line of scrimmage. Andrew Hawkins comes in, drags him down. That's going to be a 2 or 3 yard loss there.
He just burst off the line and we're absolutely just wrecked there. The guard, the offensive line had not even any time to realize where he was. He just slipped right through.
Dazzo was dead to rights pretty much as soon as that play started, unfortunately for him. So it's going to be a 2nd and 14. Dazzo with another short drop. Gets hit as he's thrown. And that swarm defense was all over that play from the beginning. I think that was Shine that came in and hit Dazzo as he threw it. And Gaines, of course, was hit in the backfield by Pat Ketza and company. So we've got another 3rd and long for Baltimore. Dazzo with another short drop, another short throw as well. It's caught by Holder, but it's going to be well short of that 1st down marker. Baltimore's going to have to punt.
And this is just the unfortunate things I'm speaking of. It's just another, great coverage by Atlanta on the play. And once again, they just had to go to the out route.
So a 4th and 10 upcoming from the 43. Atlanta almost getting there and blocking that punt by Gates. As I'm not sure who's actually fielding punts for the Swarm, but then again, it is preseason. So I want to make sure that everybody gets a good touch of the ball. So the 1st and 10 from the 24 for Atlanta as we hit that 2-minute warning. Minute 59 left to go here in the first half of play. Quick first half here, Levant.
Yes, and it seems like it's just been because Atlanta's been controlling the time the whole time. They've been having really long drives. They've been mixing it up with a lot of run plays that have been succeeding. And because the running game and the short pass play has been succeeding, a lot of time has been taken off the clock.
So I'll look at BDG numbers there. 33 yards. As long as being a 23-yard gain from earlier in the game. So 2nd and 9 upcoming as the clock continues to tick away. Dunhill under center. 2 backs in the backfield, 2 wideouts. He's going to change things up. Only 3 down linemen for Baltimore, but they're stacking that box there as BDG Hollywood gets another handoff, and he gets absolutely stood up behind the line. What a great play by Giovanni Bolt getting in there. Clock continues to run past a minute here. Dunhill with the quick snap. He's going to throw it deep, though, to the left-hand side, and it's picked off. Baltimore going the other way. Jeffrey Desir with the interception down at the 38-yard line of Atlanta.
And this string of plays is exactly what Baltimore needs to get back. This is why they've invested in a lot of these veterans like this, sir. Look at that absolute beautiful read by him.
Only way that Chisholm was going to get to it is if he dove for it, and unfortunately for him, DeSer was ready for it, read it the whole way, picked it off, went the other way. So with 51 seconds and 2 timeouts, what is Baltimore's going to do here?
I think they're just going to air it out and try to go for 7.
Seems like that's what they're going to do to start here. 4 wideouts. Dazzler's going to throw. It's a short pass, though. That's not going to get him anywhere. 40 seconds left to go and counting. Dazzler to throw again, this time over the middle, bonked off of one of the defenders. And that falls incomplete, so quickly a 3rd and 10 with 35 seconds left to go in the half. So here we go. We'll see what Dazzler wants to do with 4 wideouts, 3 bunched towards the top of your screen. Gaines in the backfield. Dazzler takes the snap, deep pass towards the right-hand side, wide open, that's Shea Carroll, touchdown, Baltimore.
And that's the absolute right man for this situation. Dazzler to Carroll, left alone by himself, left everyone in an island, and they're back in the game.
Very impressive route by Carroll to get behind the defense. Didn't look like the defender had any sort of shot at that at all. And now we've got rookie kicker Shark Tarkington on the screen. Ready to take his first SFL extra point, which is up and good. So a 10-7 ball game as Tarkington nails his first extra point. Once again, want to check out that ScoreStream app. The official scoring app of the SFL is available for download on iPhone and Android. So be sure to check that out. Completely free to download, and you can see this 10-7 score there, along with all the other scores from SFL action. Tarkington to kick it away here with about 30 seconds left to go and counting now. Falco brings it up the middle of the field out to the 31-yard line. And Atlanta with 3 timeouts in 26 seconds. We'll see what they want to do here.
I think they're just going to sit on it and take it to the half.
Probably not a bad thought, especially since that last deep touchdown there for Baltimore kind of narrowed the gap. Probably want to go into the locker room, lick the wounds, and go back, but looks like that's not what they're doing, as Boo Chisholm gets a huge grab there. Out to the 49-yard line, running some no-huddle.
I mean, offense is the best defense sometimes.
Hand off to Hollywood, who has some room on the right-hand side. Still got a blocker in front of him. DeSer's the only one that can bring him down. He drags him down finally at the 17-yard line, where Atlanta's going to burn their first timeout.
I guess they knew what it was that most people expect out of them at this time, and they just decided, let's go, let's continue to push, let's get another score out here.
The defense did not shift at all towards where they were running the football, so Hollywood literally only had about 1 guy to beat. DeSer had to come all the way across the other side there to make sure that he got dragged down. And with 3 seconds left to go, they're going to try and kick a field goal from Kidd, who already has 1 under his belt. It's be about a 34-yarder. Snap is good. Kick up and away and through. They'll mark it as a 33-yarder. And, man, they were able to get 3 easy points there before the end of the half.
Just some shock and awe tactics. I guess they knew. Hey, usually teams like in the lead hold on to the ball, just sit on it. Nope, not Atlanta.
So at the half, we've got a 13-7 ball game in favor of the Hometown Swarm. You're watching the SFL preseason on YouTube, presented by APM Music. We'll be back with the second half right after the 2K halftime show. Had some great first half action here at the Hive as we get a look here from Atlanta, Georgia. Atlanta won the toss to start things off, and they kicked off to the Vultures to start things off. So Baltimore is going to return the favor here to start the second half. And Atlanta was able to march down the field and put up 3 points just before halftime with only about 35 seconds left to go. So we'll see what they can do. We'll see if that quick-fire offense will work yet again, as Falco is going to bring it up the middle of the field and get dragged down at the 29-yard line. So Marcus Dunhill coming up to the line of scrimmage. He's got 2 wideouts. BDG Hollywood in the backfield for a 1st and 10. Delayed handoff to Hollywood, who gets dragged down behind the line. And that's a good start for this Vulture defense.
And I think the key for the rest of this game going forward is Baltimore needs to get stops and stop letting time bleed. They have the people to do it. They have the personnel in place to do it. What needs to happen is the doing of it.
So 2nd and 11 now. Dunhill gonna throw it deep in the middle, and it's incomplete. Thought he might have had Falco there, but good defense by the Vultures on the back end of that secondary there.
And I'm sure that's echoed in their locker room in halftime, that's what they had to do. And they're coming out and they're doing that. They came with some readjustments. No, they can't really adjust too much because of the playbook situation, but they're doing their best now, and I think they're going to come back in this game.
You heard it first from Levant Irvine. 3rd and 11. Dunhill to throw. Got Falco, but he's going to be well short of the 1st down marker. And it's going to be 4th and 6 coming up.
You know, it's like everyone's favorite phrase, whether they like to hear it or not. There's still a lot of football left to be played, and there's still a lot of football left to be played by both teams.
There's a ton of football left to be played. I'm glad you said that, because we haven't even gotten through a minute of the 3rd quarter here. Both teams obviously still in this, as Atlanta goes and kicks it away. Otis Jenkins, the punter for the Swarm. And Daley Holder brings it out to the 35-yard line. We'll see what the Vultures want to do here for their first offensive possession of the second half.
The key is that Atlanta needs to understand that they know that Baltimore's going to want to come out and try to get some quick scores off. So they need to adjust. Regardless of how the first half is gone, Baltimore's going to come out firing.
Got a handoff here to T-Roy Gaines out to the 42-yard line, a gain of 7. And that was a good chunk of yards to start things off. Better than he probably did in the first half.
I mean, he did all right in the first half. He gained some. It wasn't that like he wasn't involved. It's just drives seemed to die off before anything could happen.
We'll see if the Vultures go with a little more run as Gaines gets another handoff here. Tries to throw the stiff arm, and he's able to make something out of nothing there. He was bottled up, no real estate at all, but able to get a yard out of it.
Well, even with the result of that play, they're in a good third and short situation now.
Get a look at Ajalani back there at his free safety spot, coming back over from Vancouver. Handoff to Gaines, who's met by 3 different Atlanta Swarm defenders. He gets a yard, but they stonewalled him and forces the 4th down. Gates out there to punt once again. So not what Baltimore was looking for to start things off. Swarm don't come after it this time. Instead, they'll build the return. And he gets knocked down at about the 22-yard line. They'll mark him at the 23. And that'll be 1st and 10 for the Swarm. .8:22 left to go in the 3rd quarter. Eric Vincent alongside Levant Irvine here in Atlanta, Georgia at the Hive for this contest versus the Swarm and the Vultures. Hand off to Hollywood, who squeaks out of a tackler, but he doesn't go past the line of scrimmage, gets dragged down at the 23, and that's Amon takes in there on the tackle.
And that's what they're going to need him to do all season. They drafted a very colorful figure in Amon Takes, but he has shown to be a very effective linebacker.
4 wideouts for the Swarm, under center for Dunhill. Dunhill to throw, got him in, threaded the needle in between 2 defenders as Boo Chisholm goes down near the 45-yard line.
This is the man that's been having the plan all day. They have a hard time stopping Chisholm. The speed is just burning everyone so far today. And they look at him for a second, but he's gone. When he makes his cut, he just slices right through.
One of the better route runners in the SFL. DeSur, unfortunately for him, had no chance to defend that play. Dazzo able to come up from his middle linebacker spot to make the play. BDG Hollywood trying to get some yardage. It's that pitch play again, just not very effective here in the preseason that we've seen so far.
No, it's not. And when the guard does not come out in front of the running back, or the running back overshoots his offensive line, one of these 2 things sometimes happens and it breaks the play down entirely.
This time it results in a 3-yard loss, so it'll be 2nd and 13, 3 wideouts. Hollywood in the backfield, Dunhill to throw. He's got a man on the left-hand side. Chisholm makes the catch and steps out at the 46.
Now that's quite the stat we just got shown there. 6 targets, 6 receptions, no drops.
Over 3,300 yards and 23 touchdowns in 3 seasons in Atlanta for Chisholm. We'll see if the Swarm will throw his way on a 3rd and 9. Dunhill, time, over the middle, and that's incomplete. Great play by Dazzo to come up and make the incompletion there.
Both Dazzles have come up big so far today. As we see Joe here, reading the play perfectly at just squashing Hollywood.
It takes a heck of a guy to bring down all of BDG Hollywood there. All 6 foot, 215 pounds of him.
And note, both Dazos have been out of football for a season. They look rejuvenated to me.
Oh, most definitely. Punt from Atlanta. Fielded by Holder. And he'll make it out to the 23-yard line. And that is where Baltimore's going to take over. Once again, this week, preseason action, this being game 1 of a doubleheader today. So just make sure to stay tuned. We've got more preseason football on the other end of this game here on YouTube. Got a 13-7 ball game currently. Baltimore trying to get back up on top as Gaines gets a handoff and he gets dragged down immediately. Good play by that defensive line.
This has been a very good defensive game so far, to be honest. While there have been, some big plays, it's only the big plays that's been hurting both teams so far.
.5:30 Central, 6:30 Eastern is when we'll see the second half of this doubleheader. As Dazzo hit as he's thrown, but what a great throw and catch. Able to hook up on the other end there. That's Garen Malone able to make that play.
Hasn't featured much all day so far, but Garen Malone is also one of those vets that have just been part of Baltimore's new plan for their return.
Malone should be similar to an LB Allen on the other side there. Not a ton of yardage when he was in Houston, but looks to be featured more prominently here in Baltimore as Gaines gets a couple yards there to end up with a 2nd and 8. Dazzo under center. He's going to have 2 backs in the backfield. Another quick handoff there. Not quick enough as the defensive line read that the whole way for the Swarm. They'll lose yet another yard, and it's going to be 3rd and 9 coming up now. In the gun, 5 wide outs here for Dazzo. 3 towards the top of your screen. Has time. He's going to throw over the middle. Got a man. First down out to the 39-yard line.
And Carroll's been doing well so far all day. He's been coming up clutch in key situations like this.
Caught that touchdown pass earlier in the ball game. Looks like one of the backup safeties in there. Corey Mickens on the coverage. Not quite able to catch up with him. And Gaines gets another handoff. He ends around towards the right-hand side. Finally gets dragged down by Ajlauni out at the 27-yard line. That's going to be another first down for the Vultures.
Here's when a play to the outside gets done right. While he didn't really receive any assistance from the line, a great individual play by Gaines to gain yards.
So down at the 27 of Atlanta now. Baltimore trying to take the lead for the first time in the ball game. Dazzo takes a snap, gives it off to Gaines again, and Aquinas Shine says, "No, sir, you will get nothing and like it."
This is probably why they're going more to the outside, because people like Aquinas Shine will not be upstood by a rookie.
All 6'5", 246 of Aquinas Shine, and he can move like a cornerback. Dazo's going to hand it off to Gaines again. Stumbles, but he's able to get through the line for about 3 or 4. So it's going to be a 3rd and manageable coming up from the 24.
Seems like every time they run up the middle, it literally is the battle in the trenches that we're talking about. It's whether Atlanta can push through or if Gaines can gain yards. There's no in between here.
3rd and 6, another quick handoff to Gaines, gutsy call, and it doesn't pan out for the Vultures as they get dragged down at the 20-yard line, and Baltimore's going to have to kick a field goal here.
I'm not sure if I agree with settling 4-3 here, but they have a quarter and a couple minutes to go, so that seems to be the game plan for them.
Yeah, I don't think it's time to start going for 4th down conversions just yet. With just under 2 minutes to go here in the 3rd, might as well take the points and see what you can do afterwards. And the points they do indeed take, as a 36-yard field goal goes through, and that's the first SFL make for Shark Tarkington, and he nails it through there. As we get a look at the instant replay, bit of a high snap.
Bit of a high snap. So this seems to be why the holder is placed there, but you know, all the work goes to kicker. But you know, sometimes the holder does have a role in saving those high snaps.
Kickers and holders are people too.
The teams that decide not to contract them don't believe as much, but you know, they're on your squad.
But let's not get into the politics. You know, teams do what they want to do. Fielded at the 10, Falco's going to bring it up and makes it out to the 29-yard line. It's been about where they've been starting all game long. So we'll see what Atlanta wants to do here, see if they can add on to this 3-point lead that they have.
It kind of stopped me from making the next point I wanted to make, where some teams decide to, well, sometimes teams will decide to keep the game manageable, other teams decide to go for it.
Be a little bit more aggressive on the play calling. Dunhill's going to throw over to the right-hand side. Got a man. And it's going to be a 10-yard gain. They'll mark him just shy of the 1st down marker. It'll be 2nd and inches upcoming on that play.
I believe that was a role player, Quinson there.
So this definitely in BDG Hollywood territory as the Vultures are stacking the box. Hollywood squeaks through, and it looked like he could have gone for much, much more, but Willis able to drag him down, not before he gets that 1st down.
While they couldn't prevent the 1st down here, the secondary did close in quickly and put in a good lick on him to make sure that he knew where he was on the field.
Tony Willis coming over from the champion Alaska Storm. 66 tackles just a season ago. And looking to add on to that total as Atlanta starts with a 1st and 10. Dunhill to throw. Pocket collapsing. Deep pass, and it's incomplete. Great play out there by Bolt.
The secondary has been making plays for Baltimore. We've been a little amiss on talking about them all game, but they've been keeping them in this ball game.
Giovanni Bolt, a former Skyhawk, 9 pass deflections to his credit last season. 2nd and 10 coming up from the 46. Dunhill under center. He's going to throw again. Steps around the pocket, throws right into the arms of Dazo, not able to convert. And I think he owes the defensive coordinator some push-ups.
Yeah, some teams like doing that. Every team has their own little culture of what to do when balls are dropped, but at the same time, they're on defense for a reason.
Yes, the old adage, if you're on defense, you don't have good hands. 3rd and 10 for the Swarm. Dunhill to throw again. Short pass, this time on a crossing route. I believe that was Allen, but he didn't make it out to the 1st down marker. He's going to be short. 4th and 6 coming up for Atlanta.
But you know what they do have? The ability to hit.
They do have that.
It did almost seem as though the ball wanted to come out there. He seemed pretty jarred.
It's a good textbook tackle on that last play, though, by Bolt. Able to drag him down right up around the legs. And Baltimore almost getting to that punt. They're going to let it bounce, and a nice Atlanta bounce for them. They're going to down it at the 5. So the Vultures are going to have plenty of work to do in order to either take the lead or tie this ball game, as they're going to start from their own 5-yard line. When we come back for the fourth quarter, a 13-10 ball game here in Atlanta. You're watching the SFL on YouTube, presented by APM Music.
This is a very legendary quarter for Dazzle, however.
Dazzle's going to hand it off, though, to Gaines to start things off. No gain. Why is this a legendary quarter for him?
Well, I mean, from the games I've seen, you know, of the Crabs before they became the Vultures, he seems to perform very well when it comes time for the fourth to come around.
4 straight playoff-bound seasons. 4 missing the playoffs, a couple before the end of the Crabs' tenure in Baltimore. Gaines going to get wrapped up right around the 2. So they're going backwards here, which is certainly not good news for Baltimore.
Well, definitely no stranger to pressure. I'm not even going to let this possible 3-and-out be a problem.
So it's 3rd and 13. 4 wideouts, 3 towards the top of the screen. Another handoff to Gaines, who gets out to the... I don't know about that spot, but... They're going to give it to him at the 2. So there'll be no gain. 4th and 13 coming up, and your punter's in a heck of a situation here.
Yeah, you never want to be backed up, like, a lot shorter than you're usually positioned to punt. Can't get a lot of power from there.
Baltimore does the job, holds off the rush there, and is able to limit the punt return. But that's some good starting field position for the Swarm, as they're going to start things off at the 37 of Baltimore.
And that hang time wasn't even that bad considering where the punter was positioned. That's actually above average for being pinned back down there.
So we'll see what Dunhill and company are going to do here. 1st and 10 from the 37. Handoff to Hollywood. Dancing around through the hole. Gets about a yard before he's dragged down at the 36.
I think they're just trying to continue doing what they've done all game. Run the ball, mix it up, try to kill the time.
Second and 9 upcoming. 3 wide outs. Dunhill to throw. Has time. Stepping up. Over the middle. Got him, man. It's tipped and incomplete.
And those are the times where you want the interception to happen on deep. You want it so badly, and perhaps the pressure got to them there, and they both dropped it. It was right there.
The tight end, Odinson, did have a nice little area in that defense to catch the football, just wasn't quite able to haul it in. So it results in a 3rd and 9. Dunhill to throw again. Quick pass over to the right, and again it's short of the first down marker. Allen, the 3rd, is able to reel it in, though. It'll be 4th and 4 coming up.
I don't know, there's something about that route tree that just leaves that receiver as the only open one.
So we've got another field goal opportunity for the Swarm. Alex Kidd out there. Should be a 47-yarder. Certainly no gimme. Kidd puts the boot through it. It's up and it's through. They're going to call it a 48-yard field goal. And that extends the lead to 6 for the Swarm here as we get another look.
None of these field goals so far have been real gimmies. They've been pushed back almost towards having to boot it at 50. So that's actually pretty good to get these long field goals off in the preseason.
So a 16-10 ball game. Eric Vincent alongside Levant Irvine here in the Hive. The home of the Swarm as they kick off to the Vultures of Baltimore. Able to bring it out to the 31-yard line where they're going to take over for another possession. Still limiting the damage, so they're only down by 6, which means they can still take the lead on a touchdown and an extra point here, Levant.
And I'm sure Atlanta's aware of this. Like, let's not forget there are 2 teams here still playing, and Atlanta wants to keep their lead and Baltimore wants to take it.
3 wideouts, 2 backs in the backfield. Gaines is the one with the ball, and he's going to get dragged down after a 3-yard gain. Vasquez in there on the play. Baltimore probably wanting to chew some clock in addition to getting themselves into position to score the go-ahead touchdown. Dazzo's going to change things up here at the line. He's got 3 wideouts again with 2 backs in the backfield. He's under center. Hand off to Gaines. Met right at the line of scrimmage, excuse me. Dragged down. Only gets about a yard or 2.
The mid-quarter is always a very difficult thing to manage being behind because you don't want to play as if you're about to be ahead, but you also want to believe anything you do can. And you have to manage clock alongside that.
Dazzo takes the snap from the gun. He's got a man in the middle of the field. And way to hold on to the ball as Daley Holder is dragged down at the 47-yard line. 1st and 10 for the Vultures.
And it doesn't seem like they're letting it get to them so far this drive.
I think Andy Hamilton was poking a little bit of fun at you in there in the chat. Hand off to Gaines. Lowering his shoulder, gets out to about the 5-yard line. Your analysis on Atlanta having the lead and Baltimore wanting to take it. Andy thought that was primetime analysis right there.
Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure.
Good 1st down yardage, brings up 2nd and 5 for the Vultures. Dazzo to throw. He's got time. He's going to throw deep towards the left into coverage, and it's picked off. Atlanta going the other way with it. Down the sideline as he's dragged down at the 47-yard line, and that was not what you were looking for if you're Mike Dazzo.
No, it's not, and as we see here, it's perfect shade. This seems to be like a cover 3, where your linebacker wants to assist and shade over the middle parts of the field. That's where Shine was, and was in prime position to take an underthrown ball there.
And Shine doesn't get his mitts on a ton of interceptions. Through his career, I don't think he's gotten... He might have gotten 1 or 2 career interceptions. I don't have his numbers up in front of me on the interceptions. But the fact that he was able to drop back into coverage that way, that was an incredible pick by a linebacker.
So, if we're starting the all-name team thing here, is Wall, being a defensive tackle, one of those names?
Ooh, I don't know. That's a good question. I like Wall. I know there's a Brick Wall that's a fullback on one of these squads. As Dunhill throws it over the middle of the field, can't quite connect. And that was L.B. Allen looking for something a little bit more than just a standard out route.
I mean, he was still ahead of his defender. That's what you want to be as a wide receiver. He just couldn't hang on to it.
Got 44 strong watching right now this ball game here in Atlanta. Jeff DK, Pure 2K12, Mahmoud Ajlani, Carrion Miller, TMG Jr., and plenty more as Dunhill throws over the middle, and they're trading interceptions at this point. DeSir, I think. No, it was Giovanni Bolt. No, it was Tony Willis. I'll get him right eventually.
Well, even the referee was flabbergasted. He fell over too. Look at that. Just had the absolute hops. So much hops that even the ref fell over. He wasn't even part of the play.
Back-to-back great plays by both these defenses. So Baltimore with another shot here. Kind of bobbled the snap, Dazzo did at the line, so they're going to lose a yard. And not great average for gains as you get a look at his numbers there. But this defense from Atlanta, they're nothing to shake a stick at.
Oh no, it does shine again. Being a bright spot on this defense today. Just absolutely being everywhere you want a linebacker to be.
Andy now critiquing my analysis there. If I name the whole defense, I can't be wrong. Well, he's got a point there. Dazzo throws over the middle of the field. That's caught. Big gainer there. And that's Shea Carroll again, making himself known in clutch situations.
I'll get to that in a moment, but with Carroll's been, wow, look at this. He was behind the play and was not afraid at all. I'm going to grab this ball, he said. I don't care where you are.
Nifty little grab right in there with the linebacker in coverage. And Dazzo's going to get dragged down from behind. Great play by the Swarm defense. As the crowd goes nuts here. Dazzo didn't even see it coming, and it's a huge loss of 9. As they line up for another play. 4:15 to go here in the ballgame. Handoff to Gaines, slips through a defender, and gets leveled at about the 38, so it's still going to be 3rd and forever for the Vultures.
I'm sure the key there was trying to not do anything risky and try to make it more manageable.
So we got 4 wideouts now for Dazzo. He's under center. Gonna throw deep over the middle. It's caught again. Shea Carroll puts himself over the century mark with that grab.
Is absolutely unfettered there. Unfazed by wherever his defenders are. Dazzo put a bullet straight to Carroll and trusted his receiver. There's absolutely a wonderful play. Hats off.
Baltimore showing they may want this here. 3:20 left to go. T-Roy Gaines up the middle. Gets about 3 yards.
Yeah, but to the point earlier, I mean, it's preseason for everyone. We're going to say some weird things.
Oh,
Everyone
absolutely.
says some weird things.
Absolutely. 3s look like 8s. 4s look like 9s. I mean, it's tough. It's tough being a broadcaster. Dazzo's changed things up here. Pitch play over to Gaines. Gets out of a tackler. Out to the 37-yard line. I didn't mean to cut you off there, Levon.
I was just going to say sounds no one asked for in the background.
So we got a 3rd and 5. Crucial 3rd and 5 as we hit 2.5 minutes to go. Crowd on their feet. I formation for Baltimore. Dazzo to throw, and he's gonna avoid the sack, and then he's not able to complete the pass. Oh, Carroll, not able to hold on, but what a play by Dazzo to avoid that sack. I thought he was dead to rights there.
I feel some degree of hope, and watching it just die when the drop happens. It's just crushing. When you, I'm sure as a viewer, you're seeing that like yes, and then oh no, in a moment of like 3 seconds.
Definitely difficult to watch. Dazzo going to throw over the middle. I think he's got that first down. He does. It was close, but Daly Holder able to cross the line there. And it's going to be a fresh set of downs when we come back from the 2-minute warning. Got a great ball game here in Atlanta. 6-point lead for the Swarm. We'll see what happens here in the last 2 minutes.
It does seem like Atlanta is not going to challenge that spot.
It was certainly close. I don't know if it warranted a challenge, but it was definitely close. Atlanta jumped, so it's a free play. Baltimore going to get a free 5 yards here.
This is the second time all day.
We haven't had a ton of flags. In fact, I think that might have been the third one, as Baltimore is going to get set up for a 1st and 5 at the end of Andrew Hawkins' penalty.
The thing that's absolutely astounding, and in a good way for this league, is that generally teams play very, very clean. You don't see that many penalties.
No, it doesn't slow the game down at all, keeps things going. So a 1st and 5 from the 27. Pitch play to Gaines. Almost squeaks through that tackler. He gets about 3, so it's going to be 2nd and 2 from the 24 as the clock continues to roll.
Wonderful vision by Gaines to see the gap, but at the same time, I feel like some of the defenders have had wrong priorities trying to bowl over people instead of the ball carrier.
High formation, delayed handoff, Gaines, 1st down, more, out to the 19, into the SFL red zone for a 1st and 10.
And while everyone is asking why they continue to run the ball, well, when it works, it works. And it hasn't been all game, but now that it's starting to kick up, Dazzle has all types of options now.
Gaines to run again, another pitch play, and he's getting 6 on that play as we near closer to a minute to go here in the 4th quarter of action.
Well, now it comes down to how you manage time here.
46 seconds and counting. Daza with all 3 timeouts, I formation. Another handoff to Gaines, trying to bulldoze his way forward, but he gets stopped at the 12. 3rd and 3 coming up as Baltimore burns their 1st timeout.
Now the situation is, you're going to have to go into the end zone. You can't settle for 3. There's way too many permutations of things that don't happen if they only go for 3 here. So they need to score, definitely.
There's no reason for them to go for a field goal here. They would have to get in the end zone with 37 seconds left on the clock. Dazzo in the pocket, he's just going to throw it away. And that's going to end up with a 4th down as he shows a little bit of grit there and shoving one of the defensive linemen.
And what I've just seen there is the poise of a veteran quarterback. You know, last season we've seen a lot of the happy feet go around, and he seemed very calculated back there, even knowing when to throw away the football.
So here's pretty much the ball game here. Dazzo in the gun, 4 wideouts. Gaines sidecar right. Dazzo to throw. Over to the right-hand side. Got a man. 1st down. And they're going to burn their 2nd timeout. There's Shea Carroll once again, showing that clutch gene he's got.
As I said before, Dazzo's no stranger to 4th quarter games.
We'll see if he's got another 4th quarter comeback in him as the Vultures face a 1st and goal from the 7. 27 seconds, 1 timeout. Dazzo to throw. Over to the left. Got a man. Shea Carroll dragged down at the 2. 20 seconds and counting left to go as they get reset. Dazzo again to throw. Same play over the side. It's intercepted by Atlanta, and that's going to be the ball game.
Well, you could just wrap it up right here. Adjalani coming with a beautiful read. And by the way, that was a route tree that is supposed to confound the defense. There's a lot of things going on there, but he chose the right receiver at the right time and made the best play possible.
Just a heartbreaker for the Vultures. Whether it's preseason or not, they definitely showed some vim and vigor there as Hollywood's going to get a handoff, sidestepping his way out to the 9-yard line. 6 seconds left to go. Baltimore's got no more timeouts, so we should see victory formation for the Swarm.
Every team's favorite formation when they're winning, and the worst one for the losing team, the heart-crushing victory formation.
Mahmoud Al-Jilani coming back from the Vancouver Legion to be the starting free safety and GM of this Atlanta Swarm team, getting the game-cinching interception. And the Swarm are going to get a win here in front of the hometown Hive. 16-10, your final score from Atlanta. Levant, do you have anything else before we let the people go?
I just feel like this is one of those games where the team with more big plays won the game. Both teams had a couple of turnovers. And here we see that Baltimore actually had more time of possession. They didn't in the first half, but they started getting it back in the second. But really, overall, the team with more big plays, more bust out, just absolute heart-crushing plays won the game today.
I would have to concur with that. Just an incredible play by both teams, and a great game to watch, even just for preseason. Well, as we get a look at the final highlights here from the 2K postgame show, I want to remind you that in a couple hours, 6:30 Eastern, 5:30 Central, Michael Trujillo and Merrick Itera will be on the call as the Oklahoma City Renegades will visit the West Coast and take on the San Francisco Sharks. We'll be right back here on YouTube with that call. I want to thank you guys for coming out and taking a look at the SFL presented by APM Music. For Eric Vincent, my name is Eric Vincent. For Levant Irvine and the entire crew down deep in the heart of Texas, I want to thank you for watching, and good afternoon and good night.